Hi, this is Aaron. I'm going to be demonstrating setting up Outlook when Azure AAD Partner Compliance is integrated and enabled with Workspace ONE. So here we have and this is specifically for Android. So here we have an Android device. It's Google Pixel 5, Android 13. It's a work profile enrolled. You can see it's compliant. The Outlook registration has not been set up, so there's only just this iOS device here, so the registration hasn't been done on the device. Here's the device. It's a physical device. It's just remotely managed by this smartphone test farm open source software. So I have both the Intune company portal app as well as Microsoft Authenticator installed. I believe only the company portal app is needed, but I do have both installed. So we're going to launch Outlook and sign in to that. So it says device state unregistered, and it's the 530003 error. Okay, so here's where we're connecting the Azure account with Hub. This is a critical step for the partner compliance sync to happen between Workspace ONE and Azure. You can register the device with Azure and have it enrolled in Workspace ONE, but if that connection isn't done, the device compliance status is not going to sync over. Workspace ONE won't know what user account on the Azure side or what device on the Azure side to send that compliance for. Oops. So I'm going to click register. It says device registration successful. Your device has been successfully registered. You now have access to Microsoft services. All right, so it brings it back here. But what I was in the middle of doing was trying to sign into Outlook. So and then of course we get this error occurred. If we go back, so I believe you have to sign into the company portal first and then it'll work. I'll try one more time stepping through this. And before I finish, let's check back on the Azure side, see what happened. Okay, so the registration did come through. And you can see here it's compliant as opposed to NA or not available. And here's the time. So this is accurate. This is of about a minute and a half ago, or maybe a minute ago. If we check on the UEM side, we check the conditional access log. Here we go. So at the 1630 mark, compliant. And so here's the Azure tenant ID, some other important information. Here's the device ID. Here, this is probably the UEM device ID, but let's take a look. Oh, no, actually, that looks like that is, in fact, the Azure device ID, 2DD1, A1, yep. And then here, so this is most likely the Azure user ID for my account. So if you go back to my account, yeah, 60D1 and then A5E. Okay. So those are the two critical pieces of information that are needed in order for Workspace ONE to like sync over that, as well as the Azure tenant ID, the partner ID here. Those are also important. But in order to fetch, you had to have gone through that connect now step. So we're going to try Outlook again. I do think it'll fail. Let's find out. No. Okay, so it's successful. And here's the app protection policy. It seems, yep, here's the email. And let's see if we can open company portal. Okay, so I'm not signed in here. And it's running Android 13, so I think it's not going to show authenticator screen. I think it'll show like a black screen. Yeah, so I'm not sure what's happening here, but if I'm signed in here or not. This is something with Android 13. When you use a remote viewing technology like STF or Visor, if the app has a in the Android manifest XML for the app, if it has something this is a protected screen, then this won't display when you. So I would need to have the physical device in front of me. But I am signed into Outlook, and so just to kind of close the loop on the full integration here. So let's go to the compliance policies. We're going to enable this compliance policy for Android. It's essentially just going to make all Android devices, all Android 13 and below, essentially make them non-compliant. So we'll come to the compliance tab. Now compliance hasn't run yet. I'm going to just manually force it to reevaluate. So now it has a status of non-compliant. If we check the conditional access log and refresh, there we go, non-compliant. Now if we check on the Intune, the Azure side, so here's my account, and this is in Microsoft Azure, and if we refresh here, now non-compliant there. Alrighty, and of course I'll still be able to open mail, send mail, while I have the primary refresh token. It's when I go to sign in. Oops. Let's see. Yep, and then here's the email, test123, do reply all. Now it's going to take a few seconds for that to send through my Outlook on my laptop. Okay, so it just sent, and there's the email actually here. Alrighty. So again, that critical step where you do the connect now, that's really important for the compliance integration to work. Specifically, the compliance status being sent. And so if we go back to Azure, we should be able to see something like something with the audit events. Let's see, we just see the registration. Try the sign-in logs. Might take a few minutes to sink in here. While that's going, let's just do a test to confirm. So again, the device state is non-compliant. So we're going to add Microsoft Teams. Try to sign in with Teams. And then we should get blocked. Okay, so there's Teams. Okay, so we're going to launch Teams. See if we can sign in. This device does not meet your organization's compliance requirements. Here's the critical error code we definitely want, the 530002. Now it's saying the device state's managed by Workspace ONE. So this is the error we want to see, the O2 error. That lets us know that the sign-in failed because the device is non-compliant. And so again, here's the Azure AD device identifier. Here's the timestamp here, correlation ID. Now, hopefully we see something maybe in sign-in logs. Doesn't appear just yet. So it does appear like the authentication broker was used at one point when I was doing the initial sign-in. So I think the authentication broker is needed, maybe. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I would need a physical device in front of me, and unfortunately I don't own one. Yep, still no logs there. Here we go. This is better. Okay, so instead of looking at my account audit logs, we go to the conditional access and then look at audit logs there. And so here you can see device no longer compliant. This is at 2129. So if we go back to the device, non-compliant. Yep, 2118. So it took about maybe 10 seconds or so there. And so let's actually flip the compliance and then test again. So we're going to go to, devices, compliance policies. I'm just going to deactivate this Android policy, and then we'll go back to the device. Now you can see it already flipped to 0 compliance violations. The compliance policy is deactivated, so it doesn't even show up. So if we check conditional access log, here it is at the 29-minute mark, and then compliant. If we check the troubleshooting logs, here we go. Successful conditional access, device state change, successful, true. Let's see. This is, I think, just local to workspace 1. Okay. Let's go back to the device. Just hit cancel. Okay, and then we'll try again. All right, and there we're signed in.